This guy has gone insanely viral. 70 million views. It's got to be one of the most viral real estate posts that I've ever seen. 50,000 plus comments. What he's done goes back to Lindsay's original post or original point about signature series.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Walkthrough Podcast, a BAM original and best show for all things marketing and branding. My name is Dan O'Neill, and I am your co-host and El Capitan of BAM. And joining me today is Miss Lindsay Joe, Mr. Jason Cassidy, and as always, my brilliant co-host, Mr. Eric the Broke Agent Simon. On today's show, we're diving deep Instagram series and how to utilize them, what's working in our marketing, how this agent wound up with 70 million views and an appearance on Good Morning America, and much, much more. Make sure to throw this video a like and let us know where you're watching from and if you've learned anything. We've been on fire the last couple of weeks. We've had some really, really good episodes here, some actual tactical advice and things that you could be using every single day. So make sure to throw us a like, throw us a comment. Eric, are you alive? Blink once if you are.
I am here and I am ready. This is going to be an amazing episode, especially the last segment. Make sure you stay to that to see how this video got 70 million views on Instagram. It is absolutely crazy, damn. But let's kick it off with Instagram signature stories. This was an amazing blog by yours truly. I mean, not yours truly, hers truly, Lindsay Joe. I did not write this blog about how to use Instagram stories series. That's a tongue twister on your Instagram stories and posts. So Lindsay, I'm going to kick it to you. Why don't you describe what this is and we could talk about how we utilize it in our marketing.
Yeah. So we typically see a signature series on a main Instagram feed, but Julia Broom posted a reel talking about how we should also do a signature series for our Instagram stories. So a signature story series would be a reoccurring series on your Instagram stories that your audience can expect weekly, which I think is genius. And in my article, I gave 4 ideas for agents on like what they could do for their own story series. So you could do Realtor Chronicles, where you share behind the scenes stories like funny client interactions, Wine Wednesday or like Therapy Thursdays. You could combine real estate tips with a glass of wine or just talk about like the challenges that we face as agents. Gems of the week or deal of the week, highlight the best properties or the best deals of the week. Kyle Toomey does this a lot. Michael Perry also does this. And then Friday Faves, share your favorite neighborhoods or your favorite local businesses. But I think we should all be doing this because it gives your audience something to look forward to every week. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing like a weekly what would LJ do, where agents can write in questions or different scenarios and I can answer those questions based off of what I would do. So like Jason would write in and say, hey, help me get my Zillow conversion rate up or whatever he wants to say. And then I can publicly respond on my story with a video and tell him like what I would do. And Dan, I don't know why you're laughing. So I love this idea and I'm curious about what you guys think about it as well.
I'm laughing because that was like the one thing that Jason's like super proud of is like his Zillow conversion.
I'm always looking for tips though, especially from LJ.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, I like LJ. I think you should start doing some sort of LJ series. I do like that. I think going by LJ is a good move.
Yeah,
I do. So this is really smart. The signature series. I've been unconsciously doing signature series for years on the Broke Agent account, where I've been doing things we see at showings or client nightmares. Things we see at showings. I just posted 2 photos today of penises. No, sorry, of mirrors shaped as penises, or of pictures or lights. And that is the things that people are seeing at showings. Or I will do client nightmares, where it is like a text conversation between a client or agents. And people kind of see that framework where they see the title, oh, it's a things we see at showing. That makes them more likely to submit the content. And it's kind of embedded in their head, like Lindsay said, where it gets them excited about something like this. So Dan, you've been doing some signature series on your stories unconsciously as well, I think. So why don't you tell us about those?
It feels like I've been unconscious for the last 5 years. But yes, I have. And I call them bits. So like I have my, did I get fleas today, right? When walking through a distressed property, my eczema, just spelling it wrong every single time and just waiting for everybody to correct me. My shit list. Did I miss my flight today? Of course I did. Or did it get canceled? It always does. The entrepreneur stuff. And I've realized that, like you said, I've kind of been doing this all along. Public accountability, the vlogs, behind the scenes. I think it's genius, and I really never even thought of it, Lindsay, until your article. But it's a really good way of like your audience differentiating from between your content, right? So they know right off the bat, hey, this is going to be a serious video of business and what we're doing, versus like, hey, this is going to be a funny skit, or this is me talking about my eczema or reason number 9,000 why I hate New York. Doing it subconsciously, but it's a really good way of like building that community. And the amount of people that I have reach out to me about my eczema or like send me stuff for it is like, I think I'm opening up a bottle of Anthrax, and it's from like Marissa, J in Nashville. It's like, oh, thanks Marissa for the, eczema cream, but for the biofreeze, appreciate it. But,
yeah, I don't think people are trying to kill you across country with chemical weaponry in your mail, but that is a great thing. The eczema thing, it's a good way to relate to people. Also, Jason, Emily McAllister, who I believe is at Real Brokerage, has the signature opening to all of her posts where she says, "What up, fools?
Yeah.
What up, fools?" And that just kind of rings true every single time you see her content. Jason, do you do any signature series besides having content that consistently sucks?
Yeah, well, obviously I have the sucky content, right? So aside from that, Eric, thank you for that tee up. So I was doing this kind of subconsciously with Obviously. I don't know if you remember this, and it doesn't. Yes. So it doesn't have to be like a weekly Wednesday thing. I love that idea too. I think that you can do AMAs, or you can do. I've got this guy Josh in my network. He does real estate school, and so like every day or every other day he does like real estate school, and then he'll save it into his Instagram highlights, right? But like for a while, I was sitting in these lobbies of these condo buildings downtown, waiting for my showing. And I made a joke one time where I was like, I said an obvious statement in a lobby. Can't remember what I said. It was something about like the summer is hotter than the winter, obviously. And I just turned it into a series. So every time I was sitting in a lobby, I would say some obvious stupid statement, and then I would hashtag obviously. And it got to the point where then people would ask me, like, I haven't seen a obviously in a while. And then I turned it into an Instagram highlight. And then people would start posting obviously's in their lobbies, and it turned into like a thing. And so I was like, dude, this is like a total like Instagram series. I equate it to like Saturday Night Live, right? And they have different sketches, but every week, you're getting weekend update right after the first song performance. And so it's like every week on Saturday Night Live, the stuff could change, but you're getting a weekly update right after the first break or the first song. And you could have something like that where it's like you have all this different content, you got houses, you got educational, but you're going to get every Wednesday, you're going to get AMAs with LJ or whatever it is. And like people look forward to that. I think that's a great pattern interrupt, and I think it's a great thing for all agents to mix in.
It is. Obviously, I forgot about that. That was interesting. Every time you posted that, I did tune into that content. So
you know what happened? I moved away. I bought a house in the burbs, and I don't work downtown as much, so I don't have as many lobbies to sit in. And now I'm out in the suburbs.
Dan, you know what the worst signature series is on Instagram? Byron Lazine's creme brulee videos.
That's
tap.
That's a signature series.
It is, and it works. Yeah, some people look forward to them, but there's nothing worse when I'm waiting on a response from Byron and I've sent him 5 really important, timely things like, hey, what's going on with this? We got to get back to this person. And he is sitting there, in Naples
tap in.
at the Ritz after playing a nice round of golf, tapping into a little creme brulee. It drives me crazy, but it's great and people love it.
Those are my favorite stories because I know that that's when you can get Byron to answer, because that means Byron's had like 1 or 2 whiskeys and he smoked a cigar and he probably had a good round of golf. It's been a good day. So when you call or text him, you get a response immediately. It's the only time. So I love seeing those.
He gets so much engagement on those videos because it is just that thing where it's just like, oh, Byron's eating a creme brulee. So now anytime we go to dinner, and Jason, we just did this in Dallas with him too, where we were looking for creme brulee on the menu, and it becomes part of this series. So Lindsay, this is a great idea. And I think those great article. I think those ideas for agents to consciously do this, whether it's in your feed or your story, will excite people and bring people back to that content where they start to recognize, oh, this is the obviously content. This is the deal of the week content. This is the ask me anything. I know this is going to happen. I'm going to definitely tune in. So throw Lindsay a like here and comment if you do any signature series in the comment section on YouTube. And let's get this to 100 likes, huh, Dan? Our last one almost got there. Let's get this one to 100 likes to show that we are absolutely crushing it with this content. All right, Dan, what's topic number 2 here?
Topic number two is going to be what's working for us this week in our marketing. Yes. Maybe not even necessarily this week. I don't know about you guys, but Adam Asari has been calling me, begging me to continue to post on Instagram, continue to do what I'm doing. I'm looking at my Instagram analytics. My accounts are plus 240%, plus 80%. I'm not going to share what those numbers were because they could have been 0 to 80 people. You never know. But with that said, I am everywhere. I am on Threads. I am on broadcast channel. I'm going live for 10 seconds and then just shutting it down just to do it, just to give Instagram, just give Adam everything that he wants. And in return, I'm using the note strategy from last week. If you don't know what that is, you should go back and watch last week's episode. I'm doing everything possible to just give Instagram everything I got. And they are rewarding me, Danny Deals over here, with a ton of engagement, random follows, Instagram influencers from California, from Arizona, 300,000 followers, follow me. Me, look at me. So that's what I'm doing over here. That's what's working for me. I'm just doing everything that I possibly can. And Adam's calling me up and just saying, hey, man, good job. Let's just flood your channel. So
hear that, everybody. Do everything on Instagram. Do everything. No, but Dan is right. The note strategy he's referring to is when you go to a post, if your Instagram has updated, you go to a post, you click, what is it, Dan? You click the share button,
yes.
And then in the bottom left corner, there is add notes. You can add a floating comment to your post, which could help it get more engagement, or to someone else's post. This is the newest feature Instagram has. What are you posting in your broadcast channel? Because you're getting a ton of engagement in that.
Yeah, so the broadcast channel is kind of just like whatever I'm thinking on my mind. It's almost like I don't really care if there's any engagement on there, but stuff that I'm doing in real time that's working, or that I might believe could help other people, and then just judging based off the engagement, and just building a community. I mean, there's only like 350 people on there, but again, it's just like the more time I think that I'm spending with Instagram's services, right, or using all the different platforms, everything. I mean, there's like 9 different apps now that you have to have. I think they're just rewarding me. And to your notes point, what I've been finding is I'm going back to my old videos from like 60 days or newer, and I'm just leaving a note like, hey, open house, or hey, did you see this, or hey, what do you think? And it's repopulating into people's feeds, and I'm seeing it in real time with myself too. I'm seeing like a video from you from like 3 months ago that's on my For You page now because you left a note, and then you can do it with each other too. So now all of your followers or vice versa see the note. Smart.
So I just opened up your broadcast channel. You said, have been filming a behind the scenes vlog for the last 9 to 10 months. The good, the bad, the ugly, ups and downs, cold calls, and everything in between. Have been debating and going back and forth whether or not I should share some of it. Should I? I'm an anxiety ball over here. And this got, 40 plus engagements, which is more than 10% of the actual audience in your broadcast channel, which is really impressive. So that's actually a really smart way to preview content, kind of the Mr. Beast style, where you talk about something you've been filming and just asking the audience, do you guys want to see that, getting engagement? So when you release this, people will recognize the fact that you already talked about it. So I think that's a really smart.
I did it for the giveaway too. I said, hey, I'm going live with this giveaway in a few minutes. Like the price point and range for you guys only is between this, go yes. So it added some value to it. Jason, what's working for you, brother? Besides everything.
No, not everything there. You know what? I did a post recently that got some traction. And to be honest, I mean, Eric, we talk about this all the time. It's like after so long of posting where it feels like the algorithm is just friction, you're just not getting the traction that you used to get. To have one kind of pop off was nice, finally. And I think it has to do a lot with the style of, we're going to talk about the scripting video, right? Yeah. Here, do you have that teed up? Yeah. So it has to do a lot with the style. So actually I posted basically a script for California home sellers. And I'm like, hey, if you're selling a home in California, here's a script that you should use with your agent, tell your agent to say this, and basically say that instead of broadcasting the cooperating broker compensation ahead of time, say, hey, our seller is willing to entertain anything based on the terms of the offer. That's it. Right. And so it was kind of a pivot of a script that you can use. You have it teed up here. You can see there, but as you can see, it did well. Like it got 1,000 shares, it got a ton of likes. But I think what really worked here, and so like whether or not you copy this video, I'm not saying you should copy this video, but like this format where I was like, it was almost like you're a voyeur and you're listening into one of my live role play calls. Like I had one of my team members on the phone and I was like saying hey, say this script. And then it's like you're listening into my coaching call. I think that worked really well. I think as agents, we wanted to like hear someone do it in real time, especially like right now in this kind of whole NAR kind of changes. It's all literally happening right now. I think agents are really thirsty for scripts and information and how to handle this. So I think this one hit on a few different notes, but it was just kind of like this cameras off to the side. You're talking to someone and they get to listen in. I think that worked really well. Got a ton of shares. Obviously, it was a controversial thing. Funny enough, this was geared toward California. I specifically say as a seller in California. And then at the bottom, I say, this is directly for California. If you're in other states, defer to your state. But all I got were comments of negative people saying, well, you can't do that. I'm like, well, in your state, you can't do that, but that's beside the point. Right. So I think for the sake of this show and like what's working well, that format of like having someone listen in to what you're doing, as opposed to like the talking head stuff that we've been doing for the last 2 years, where it's like one-on-one straight to the camera. this whole like I've seen so I think Lindsay, you do this a little bit too, where it's like someone's listening in on your podcast and you're kind of talking just off camera, right? Byron does a really great job of this, where it's almost like we're hearing his team meeting, like he's up front of the team meeting listening in, and we're getting to listen into his team meeting. That type of content I feel like is working right now, where people can just voyeur in and hear you do scripts in like real time.
All right, Haley, play this video.
I was gonna say,
Oh my God.
we're going to watch the video?
It's disappearing. All right, let's see this video. All right, here we go.
No, we're never going to broadcast what we're offering from the sell side, right? You're never going to say we're offering 3% buyer compensation, because why? What if they don't ask for 3%, right? Why would you tip your hand up front like that? What if it's like a discount broker, or like they have some prearranged thing where they're only paying 1% and you just told them you're offering 3%, you just tipped your hand. So when you go to the listing appointment, obviously you're going to take it for your fee, which is X%. And then you're going to tell them to earmark that the buyer might ask for something, and we'll entertain it when the offer comes in. So what I need you to get perfect at saying is our seller will entertain any offer with buyer representation compensation per the terms of the offer. That's it. You know what I mean? So like ultimately the seller is going to look at the net number, but you would never tip the hand up front and tell them what you're willing to offer, because what if they don't ask for it? That's kind of the whole new normal that we live in. So just get really good at saying our seller will entertain any offer of buyer representation compensation pending the terms of the offer. That's it.
So 1,300 likes, over 1,000 shares, next to no editing, captions, and just a role play script. That just shows you that Instagram is looking for that sort of content. That probably held retention the entire time because people wanted to hear the entire thing.
Yeah, they want to hear the script. Yeah. And I got a DM on Facebook from this agent in Texas. She goes, per your last video, I have a $1.3 million listing and used the seller will entertain verbiage. Seller was fully ready to pay 3%, but because we scripted it that way, we fielded offers. The agent only asked for 1%. Basically, my seller saved $26,000 because we used that script instead of telling them up front that we were willing to pay 3%.
You should get a referral fee from that agent. Everybody go follow Jason Cassidy for more amazing tips like that. Lindsay, what is working for you this week? Because you just launched a new listing and did a great mini chat combo.
Yeah. What's working in my marketing this week is myself. So Haley, if we could play my video really quick, and then I'll tell you why I did this. It was diabolical.
We'll lead with the video.
Yeah, we'll lead with the video.
I love this edit.
Okay. So here's why this worked really well. So number one, so I pushed the boundaries a little with this reel, right? Like it is giving some hoe vibes a little bit, but I like to push the boundaries. I always say when we push the boundaries, like we're more memorable. And if we're more memorable, we're going to get more shares, which means more eyes on our content. Number two, showing social.
What? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What kind of vibes?
Hoe vibes.
Really?
HOE.
Okay, my bad. Sorry, I didn't hear. I didn't think that at all.
It's a little risky. It's a little risky. You don't see people start listing videos like that. You know, it's like a little like, you know, maybe hoe vibes is not the right word, but whatever. You get what I'm saying.
Yes,
You get my point. Okay, but also, so number two, showing social proof that I actually saw real estate, which is important. In the caption, I told a story about how that seller had used me as his agent 5 times in the last 7 years. And he took a chance on me initially in 2017 when I was a brand new agent. So I had that vulnerability in the caption and made the client as the focus, which was really important. The next thing I did is I used ManyChat and I said, comment the word client below to learn my 3 favorite ways to stay top of mind with my past clients. I linked a BAM collab reel that I did. I also gave away my listing presentation as well. So I got double the comments because I used that public comment autoresponder that ManyChat has. So everyone that commented immediately got a comment back from me telling them to check their DMs, and they got the freebies in their DMs as well. And then the last thing I did, I collabed with my brokerage account so I could get in front of their audience. I think people really like sleep on collabs, and they shouldn't. I've grown my account so much just by collabing with the BAM account. So, you know, the agents who are listening definitely use that collab feature. So that's what
collab as much as possible. Totally agree. Collab as much as possible. I've collabed with Jason this week on a BAM Mania ticket giveaway, which we're actually announcing yesterday when this comes out. So if you didn't get that, there is a link in the description here to just get your ticket to BAM Mania. But totally agree with the mini chat portion of this. getting engagement on the video, giving them some sort of call to action whenever you're actually introducing a listing. Do you want to learn more information? Do you want to see my listing presentation? And then the fact that this client used you said 5 times in 7 years.
Yeah, 5 times.
That's pretty good. This client's the dream client. They're moving every 6 months here. That's fantastic. But you're selling them the wrong place every single time. That's a brilliant strategy.
That's cool.
He also wears a shirt with my face on it. Did you see that, Eric?
I didn't see that. Where'd you post that?
Instagram, my Instagram story like 700 times. So clearly you don't pay attention. No, he is like the best client.
Well, look, I'm scrolling through so many posts per day. You know, it's hard. I follow 10,000 people, but that's a great client too. They're wearing your actual face. They're using you 5 times in 7 years. This person sounds like the dream. But that's a great way to frame it. This person used me 5 times in 7 years, as opposed to I've sold this many houses or I sold it for over ass. Like that's a framing that I haven't heard before. So great post there by Lindsay Joe. Everybody follow Lindsay Joe and comment on that post, because she will send you how she follows up with clients.
What's working for you, Eric?
Oh my God. I posted something on Monday. Market crash day, Black Monday, as they say, worse than 1987. It's a post about mortgage rates and how the world is falling apart because there are hints of an Iran attack on Israel, World War III. The economy was crashing, but mortgage rates dropped, and a bunch of agents were posting, hey, here's the good news, despite the economy crashing. So, Haley, if we could pull this up, this thing got over 3,500 comments, 17,000 likes, and is at 17,000 shares right now. So just play it real quick, and I'll explain why it did well. First off,
it's so basic.
so basic. Obviously, the ultimate trend jack, because mortgage rates just dropped. Everybody was feeling like the world was coming to an end on Monday. A little bit has changed since then, but that was the feeling, especially if you're in the stock market, crypto, everything. You're like, everything is crashing right now, but rates dropping. So ultimate trend jack. Then the second aspect of the video, the Smells Like Teen Spirit Nirvana theme song. Anytime you could add audio that provides an extra an extra oomph to your post, an extra layer of context, just something that makes it more shareable, a song that everybody enjoys. I bet if I didn't have that song on it, this post maybe gets, only 70% of the engagement that it got. And then I said, comment the word script, and I will send you objection handling scripts about mortgage rates falling, which was very timely. And just like Jason said, everybody wants scripts right now. Anytime we use the word scripts in any of our videos, that's what agents want. So all those comments were people wanting that script. So I was collecting emails. I was gaining followers. It was a trend jack. And I collabed with the BAM account, and I picked up over 1,000 followers from that post too. So that was a work of art. Monday morning, taking advantage of what's going on. But it just shows you, if something timely is going on, everybody's thinking something, you post about that right now. You got to capture these little moments in pop culture and the economy, in politics, the Olympics, whatever's going on. These are the moments that you capture to actually make good content to collect emails. Go to that post right now, comment the word script on it, because I will send you a script about when mortgage rates dropped. And mortgage rates actually, I think, just jumped up again yesterday, didn't they, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, that's 6.5 versus 6.4. Like it went up a tad. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
Are you still looking for a house?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm still looking for a house. Yeah, it's impossible.
Lindsay's transacted 7 times in 5 years with one person. You've been, making Jason show you 7 houses a weekend for the last 5 years.
He hasn't sent me one house. He's been a terrible agent. He hasn't even sent me one property.
Turned him off. It was inactive. It was an inactive search.
As soon as he's sitting in a Starbucks lobby of the week, right?
I've said this before, but I am the buyer's agent joke. I am literally the person that shows interest for like a month, then I go away, then I don't respond to people, then I go see something by myself, then I send them a property that already listed, asking them why they didn't send it to me. Like, I am the caricature of all of the memes.
Has anyone ever you walked into a showing and then be like, hey, are you?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But,
that's incredible.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's nice, but it hasn't.
It's nice.
Won me any properties. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
All right. It's always good to have a little, reminder, right, Dan? A little reminder. I couldn't come up with the transition there, but if you are an agent looking to come out of the crowd, stand out from the crowd, Reminder Media is a resource you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. Reminder delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. Use the link below to check out Reminder Media. I am doing another webinar with Luke Acree, the president of Reminder Media, on Facebook ads. So make sure you check that out. Oh, one more thing, Dan. I forgot to mention this. By the way, we are doing timely scripts in social media posts in BAMX. So when stuff happens like rates drop or inventory rising or something happens in that week, we are creating on-demand templates for our BAMX agents or for our BAMX members. So make sure you use code WALKTHROUGH on that, WALKTHRU, for 10% off there. There's a couple plugs right there, but make sure you check out those. All right, final segment of the week. This is huge. Jason claims that he hasn't seen this, but there is an agent that has gone so viral that they have been on, did you say, Dan, the Today Show or Good Morning America?
Yeah, it
This
was
person,
one of those. Yeah, whatever Strahan is on.
Good morning,
okay,
Eric.
exactly. So this agent is the Gen Z editor, all right, or the agent that has posted about his Gen Z editor. He has racked up over 70 million views. This thing had 50,000 comments on it, and he continues to go viral again and again and again. So Haley, if you could pull this video up, it is from Mike Hedge out in Charlotte, and he is absolutely crushing it. All right, so hopefully you're watching this on YouTube, because if you're listening to this on Spotify, you probably think one of us is pleasuring themselves. That is not happening.
My dog is not breathing into the microphone. That was it's a clip of him, and his editor just basically took every time he was going to say a word and just clipped it all together throughout the tour. And it's another, like, in his series of these Gen Z editor videos of him saying words like "it's giving" vibes, or this is serving. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know what the terminology is here. I'm 30 years old, but
That's gas.
yeah, fire.
Yeah, that's gas. That'd be funny to do that if a fireplace, how people say like, oh, this food is gas. Gen Z says that, like this burrito's gas. What if you just said that about a fireplace that was actually gas?
Wow. People say like, this food slaps. Imagine I just said that, instead of that, I just open hands, slap the hell out of you.
Food.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's content right there. All right, so let me tell you about this guy. This guy has gone insanely viral. 70 million views. It's got to be one of the most viral real estate posts that I've ever seen. 50,000 plus comments. What he's done goes back to Lindsay's original post or original point about signature series. So he has capitalized on this viral moment in a way that I haven't seen another agent do. A lot of agents post something viral and they're like, what the hell do I do after this? But he kept giving the people what they want. So he did a post about how Gen Z editor trolls me again. The Gen Z editor laughs at me. The Gen Z editor writes my scripts. The Gen Z editor has this ADHD cut where it's a Gen Z jester cut. Our Gen Z editor made a print ad. Our Gen Z editor makes a bad Office parody. So he kept hammering the same thing over and over and over again about the Gen Z editor, all these behind the scenes videos. So go follow his account. It's Mike Hedge, and check it out about how he did all this different content around one individual concept. So I just want to applaud him because he absolutely crushed it with that original post, but it continued to capitalize on the virality of it. Any thoughts on this guy? I know, Jason, that was your first time seeing it.
No, I take that back. I just didn't know his name. I've seen that. I think it's hilarious. I sent that to Kristen Clowry. I've sent that to multiple people saying how funny it was. So I just didn't know his name. You're right. Yeah. I have seen it.
And I just like the behind the scenes aspect because, like, who's behind the camera, right? It is a lot of Gen Z people or millennials, depending, or even the generation below. I guess probably not the generation below, but a lot of agents have these marketers that are in a completely different generation. And it reached outside of real estate because everybody could relate to the fact in marketing that you have a different generation that has a different lingo, that has a different way of editing. So I think it came across multiple industries and was just a really, really good job. 70 million plus views.
And Eric, think about it too, like even if you're not in real estate, or even if you don't understand those jokes, right? Like you're not on TikTok or whatever. Like I'm sure there's a ton of people his age that have children that are probably speaking like that, right? And like they talk like that, so they could probably relate, and they probably thought it was hilarious too. So it's like something that is just relatable all across the board.
Exactly. All right, everybody. No, I'm agreeing with you.
You sure? Like, geez.
I was just saying exactly. I mean, that's I mean, any final thoughts here? Any final thoughts, Lindsay? Anything on Mike Hedge or series?
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was good. I think it reminds me of Kyle Toomey, where he had one Gen Z running video that went insanely viral, and then he became the Gen Z running realtor. So I think anytime that you can capitalize on a viral moment like that, continue to do that, because like you said, I do see a lot of people that have one video that goes viral and it's completely different than the type of content that they're already creating, and then they don't get to capitalize on that moment. So definitely capitalize on it if you go viral, would be my thoughts.
Exactly. And this is something we do with all of our content too. Like how I mentioned that whenever we do something about scripts, that content performs well for BAM. So we look at our MailChimp and we see, oh, this title with scripts, open this email for scripts. So we're going to keep using scripts as one of our subject lines and get what, Dan? Get a 50-60% open rate there. Or if I have a joke that lands really well, like one of the jokes about how agents are just pointing at disappearing captions. I've used it 5,000 times, but every time I use that one, it really resonates with the audience. So just anybody who's watching this, if they have one piece of content that has performed really well, that is still relevant, try to replicate that again, right? Do the Mike Hedge, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but do exactly what he's doing and capitalize on something that has already performed well in the past. Jason, you seemed like you're about to say something.
Yeah, it's off topic from the Mike thing, but I think right now this is a marketing podcast, right? I think right now, us as agents, especially, I'm speaking to my own brokerage and other brokerages like mine, where we have over-indexed on content creation for the last 3 years or 5 years and made a name for ourselves. But there's a window right now where our clients need us to be the professionals, right? I mean, there's a lot of changes that are happening that are going to impact the way they sell and buy a house. And so I think that we always joke about the disappearing captions and the fingers, but I think right now there's a window here where, as an agent, if you're still listening this far into the podcast, you have a great opportunity to reach out, do some belly to belly one-on-one type of stuff and be a trusted professional to explain the changes that are coming and lean into that a little bit, as opposed to just making blanket content for it. I'm not like, content's great, but like for this specific NAR stuff, get in front of them, meet them for a coffee, talk to them. There's a few CEOs I want to give flowers to: Leo Perea at EXP and Sharon Srivatsa, obviously at Real, and even Ryan Serhant. Like, I love these guys who are kind of in the trenches doing the stuff, because they're the ones who know how to teach the scripting. And so listen to those three guys. Even if you're not at those brokerages, all three of those guys are putting out content around this stuff, leading from the trenches, and then take that information back to your clients in a one-on-one fashion. Don't rely on mass market content or funny content, in my opinion, for that specific topic. But there's a window right now for the next month to 2 months to 3 months where you're going to be the trusted professional. So make sure you convey that information properly. That's all.
Absolutely. Good point by Jason. Everybody go follow Jason Cassidy, follow Lindsay Joe, follow Danny Deals and his dog, and make sure you grab a ticket to BAM Mania, where we will be doing a panel on this content that converts, where we'll be showing the number one piece of content that converts and actually brings in leads and business. That's in Vegas on October 18th. Make sure you get your tickets now, because Dan, you know that price is going up. It's going up.
It's going up. Someone's got to pay for Byron's creme brulee every day.
Exactly. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Throw this video a like if you got any value out of it, and we'll see you next week on The Walkthrough.